Hey everybody, my name is Old School Nerd. Today, I want to talk to all of you about reactors. Now, I know what you're thinking. What does power generation have to do with this channel? It doesn't. I'm a YouTube reactor. Now, I haven't always been a YouTube reactor. I was a Twitch streamer playing video games. I used to do side work in studios, used to do arrangement and acoustic accompaniment transitions from non-acoustic music into acoustic music. I'm a hand percussionist. I'm a super dad and a halfway decent boyfriend. At least that's what I've been told. But today, I just wanted to talk to everybody about something that's near and dear to my heart. Music reactors, YouTube video reactors, and of course, artist breakdown reactors and such. There's so many different things that you can go about, and when you're trying to find this genre, you can literally throw a rock and hit 15. Now, there are a lot of reactors that I enjoy watching just for entertainment. Alex Hefner, Tulip Mafia, Jamel, aka Jamal. There are many reactors that I watch to just because they're completely and totally entertaining. Now, some of those channels have a lot of insight. I mean, come on, Alex Hefner, he was the first reactor I ever saw, ever. And because at the time he was a hip hop head, and he slowly evolved into metal head as well, and he can't deny it. He can try, but he can't. But my boy lives literally 3 hours that way behind me to the west in Texas, so I'll always have a little thing in my heart for Alex, no matter what crazy stuff he's up to today. Oh, by the way, Alex, congratulations on tying the knot, sucker. All right, but let's get into I want to talk to you guys about 10 different reactors today. Now, these are the 10 reactors that have caught my attention in the last year or year and a half since I started doing reactions myself, that I go to and I watch their reactions, even if it's something that I've already reacted to, because each one of these 10 channels brings something different to the table that inspire me or keep me grounded. That's something that a lot of us reactors don't realize, and a lot of you may not realize, is that this whole entire thing of being a reactor on YouTube can literally be consuming, where you could literally be jumping at one thing or another, or letting comments get to you personally, or letting other people outside of what you believe throw your channel in a different direction. Myself, for those of you who have watched my channel, in the last 2 years, we've done almost 1,500 reactions. It's a lot of reactions in 2 years. Actually, it's a little bit too much. Why? Because one of the people on this list told me so, and when I scrolled back a little bit, I really started enjoying this a lot more and spent more time communicating with all of you, building my community, building my friendships and such, than just putting out videos. Those little things are some of the reasons why some of these channels are the channels I'm putting on this list. Now, they are not in number order. So whenever I open this window right here and Nik Nocturnal comes up, he is not number 10. He's also not number 1. These are in no particular order. Ready? I've already spoiled it for you, so we're going to start off with the first one. And that's going to be your boy, Nik. Now, Nik Nocturnal came onto my radar, not because he was a reactor, but because a reactor reacted to some music he did. Nik's on this list because a lot of other reactors look at him to be the trendsetter or the person that they look up to. And it's not just because he has 600 plus K subscribers. That has nothing to do with that. It's when Nik talks about something, you're like, whoa, what did I miss? What did I, because Nik is usually always the first one or the one who understands a different trend or a different movement within both metal and YouTube as a whole. He'll do music videos where he's working his guitar work. He'll do breakdowns. He'll do analysis. He'll do funny stuff. He'll react to stuff just because. And then all of a sudden, the next thing you see, the rest of us are like, oh my God, why didn't I react to that or do a video about that? And Nik's like, it's because I thought of it first. And it's true. It's really hard to go off and do a reaction if you watch Nik's channel. And this is why. A lot of people think that all of us reactors are agents of record labels, and that record labels pay us to do reactions, and that they give us a script and we have to read off the script and we have all these rules, otherwise we don't get paid. All the reactors that I'm going to list on here, as far as I know, that's never been the case. Those are what we refer to as hype channels. Yes, there are reaction channels on YouTube where all they do is bounce and freak out, go, oh my God, and they make crazy thumbnails, all in the purpose of making you hype for the artist. And I've actually watched videos say things in their videos while they're reacting to something that you're like, who wrote that for them? Because just one video ago, they had no idea about anything to do with this band. And then on the next one, they're giving you the insights into the album. And they're like, this is how I'm feeling about it. No, this is something you read, and that's okay. Just say it. Nik is one of those trendsetters that when you are trying to, one of the things, and the reason why I mentioned Nik is Nik and another member of this list really helpful to me in understanding how to work with record labels, how to reach out to artists, how to communicate within the industry while still respecting the industry, respecting the art, but yet keeping yourself so far away from it that you can give an honest opinion and you're not just shilling for the man. Empire Records, fuck the man. Long live the Empire. Also, Airheads. So what I like to do is I like to live my channel on two principles: the Empire Records principle, don't let the man get you down, and Airheads principle, Lemmy is God, and that's the only way we're going to do it. And don't let the drummer be alone with the chick from the radio station. These are all lessons we learned from movies, boys and girls. This is how we're going to stick to it. So Nik Nocturnal, anyone, when I tell people, they're like, I want to start a channel. Great. What do you love? And they're like, I just want to do reactions to videos. I'm like, you should do something you love. A great example is Nik. Nik does videos of things that he loves or he feels passionate about. And that's it. Period. That's Nik in a nutshell. All right, the next one is going to be one that I found just about 4 months ago because of a group of reactors that I was speaking to, and we were sharing ideas and sharing thoughts, and I saw this person's channel on a Discord where I was talking to other reactors, and we were just sharing ideas, and I clicked his channel, and I've been watching his videos ever since for two reasons. Number one, he is a musician, just like Nik, but he's a little different. He does kind of a variety of things, okay? He does reactions, but he also talks about albums. He talks about equipment. He talks about, he does his own guitar covers. He has collaborations. You can see right here, he does different ideas. He tries to step out of the box, which is very, very, very important. He also is fortunate enough to have one of the best sidekicks in the industry. Now, a lot of his videos lately have just been himself, but some of his most infamous videos are with a certain young woman. In fact, all the ones that made me find him were from that. In fact, I think his reactions to some Bandmade and Baby Metal were the first ones I saw of his channel. So Metalbirb, great guy. I mean, and he wears his life on his sleeve, really honest. And if it's something he doesn't like, I think that's one of the things that I really love. When I started checking out his channel, I immediately fell in love with this channel because authenticity. Some channels, they're all about the hype and they're too afraid to say anything bad about an artist or a piece of music because it is kind of touchy sometimes. And there are ramifications when you outwardly say something negative about certain things. I know this. There are a couple bands that don't talk to me at all. It's okay because I was honest about it. his honesty helps. So respect to that. The next one is going to be a little different. This is not one a lot of you may know about, but I consider this guy to be an upstanding person, a friend, and probably one of the few channels that focuses on something that I've fallen in love with. And this channel would be Dicodec. Now, Dicodec used to be a duo, two guys together. They have since gone their separate ways, and Dicodec has continued his channel. For those who are wondering what Dicodec is known for, I don't know. Bandmade, Nemo Fire, Baby Metal, Maximum the Hormone, Juna. I mean, when it comes to Asian metal from Asia, okay, Japan, Korea, even China, Thailand, Singapore, Malaysia, if it's coming out in Asia and it's something you want to check out, he'll probably have already reacted to it. I've done an interview on his channel. I don't want to talk about that. I was so embarrassed. I did so bad, but I tried. This is something that I just want to tell you guys, and this might freak you out a little bit. Two things about this channel that will always have me both subscribe to it and always checking it out and getting notifications from it is he is a musician. He's one of the few people that will do covers to Asian metal music, which is just, again, unique. But the other thing that really has me locked into Dicodec's channel is there's something that happens, and I don't know if it's just the publishers or the record labels, but copyrights work different in Asia. They really do. And you can literally have 3 strikes on the same day for videos you've done a year ago. And I'm not kidding. You just never know when you're going to fall against them. He is really, really good about doing reactions to videos that are safe to do. Also, bands in Asia will release music and you don't even know they've released it because all their marketing is geared towards their audience. And a lot of times for those of us in the United States and in Europe and such, we don't find out about it until we see it on the internet. Problem is that when an Asian band releases their official music video, do not just run over there and react to it. You're probably going to get a strike, at least in the first couple months. So a lot of people will do different sources that are protected from copyrights, from third parties and whatnot. It's very difficult to go through that minefield, and that's one of the reasons why a lot of reactors avoid Asian metal bands. Because if you think getting your monetization from an old Shinedown video or Linkin Park or Limp Bizkit or some retro stuff from the United States in the 2000s is going to be easy, no, it's not, because record labels in the United States, especially for United States popular music, extremely difficult to deal with as a reactor. Unless you want to talk about Asian bands, then that's a totally different monster, and that monster has 5 heads. And none of them are amused. For those of you who have ever done a baby metal reaction, that joke will make sense to you. Everyone else, sorry. Let's keep going. Number four. This one, some of you may not know, but you need to get on board with this one. Watch this. This is RichoPOV. Now, there's this one I found literally 2 months ago. I was in Discord checking out some other channels, and I saw this guy pop up in a group that I'm in. We were talking about Eskimo Callboy, and then he was also talking about how much he loves Ailstorm, and that he couldn't stop laughing, and he was doing so I had to check out his channel, and then I immediately subscribed. The second most pronounced thing about Rich's channel is that it is fun. He has a lot of fun. If you're looking for an in-depth analytical view of this situation, you might get a hint of that, but mostly you're there to have fun. Also, I said that's the second thing. The number one thing is epic porn stash ever. I mean, ever. If this reaction thing doesn't go well for him, he can always be counted on to do a starring role in the remake of Boogie Nights. This is something I do enjoy. He doesn't just do music reactions. He kind of does a plethora of things, and he's kind of gotten me into the idea of maybe I should start expanding out instead of just doing metal reactions, doing more stuff. So I've kind of I've put more emphasis, re-emphasized D&D, cooking streams, and possibly getting into more hand percussion. It's a gift and a love that I have that I'm not sharing with anyone, and why? Mainly because my setup, and I need to get a better mic system and better soundproofing before I start echoing through this room. But other than that, I want to do it. He does reactions. My favorite stuff he does, and I'm not kidding, is his Just for Laughs and his I found it, I'm going to react to it. Like literally, he'll just do reactions to videos that are just nothing to do with music, just facts, crazy stuff. He also has one of my favorite reactions to the Bat Metal series. He's done all 3 Bat Metal videos, and I loved them. Of course, I watched his after I'd done mine, because that's important that you keep it authentic. Now let's start getting into the ones that I've known for a while and I respect the hell out of. The next 2 really have a special place as a reactor. Not because I look at them and go, ooh, that's a great idea. They're a tempering voice for me, which is important to me. Next one, the Charismatic Voice. Okay, I have said this so many times in so many reactions and videos that I might as well just say it in this one too. If you want to check out music theory, check out Nik Nocturnal, and check out a few other ones that focus on their ability to play music, and they can talk about the guitars, and they can talk about how the song is written and the riffs and the techniques. Great. If you want to talk about what it's like to know the artists, being on the road, shows, venues, equipment, random facts about a band he had to research for 12 hours, and that's why he had to stay up all night between making sure that Ingrid was fed and put down. Well, that would be Tank. Well, if you want to know about vocals, I am not a singer. I used to be, but since I had a surgery in 2012, I can't sing a note. My pitch is completely off, and I've been struggling ever since. But when you want to talk about the voice as an instrument, this is your channel. When you want to talk about how views the voice as an instrument and as a science, both melodic tones, harsh vocals, which she's been getting into more, and just the science of taking care of your voice, how you approach a session. She's done amazing interviews. I've seen people do interviews with Melissa Bonney. I've seen people do interviews with Tatiana from Ginger. I've seen people do interviews with so many different vocalists that they love. But I always go to this channel's interview of that person to get the idea of, hey, how the hell did you do that? Because she not only looks at it as, you have a very pretty voice. No. She goes into it like it is a puzzle to be put together and explained, so you can see it all and get a better understanding of what's going on. And so, and congratulations to her and her husband, Kurt, on the birth of their new child. That's awesome. So excited for them. But this, one of the most genuine people on the planet. She does not... do you remember the old adage, if you don't have something nice to say about somebody, just don't say it? This is the person. Now, when I say that she's always positive, that doesn't mean she's fake. She has probably a library, a whole box of videos that she's never posted online, because if it goes bad, she will be honest, but she doesn't feel like being negative towards artists outwardly. If it's her opinion and she feels like it's not cool, then she keeps her opinion to herself. But you can rest assured that if she puts out a video on YouTube and it has somebody's name next to it, she found something amazing and she wants to share it with you. That's the Charismatic Voice. The next one, the Kardavox Academy. This guy, this one I'm moving into, because I went from Charismatic Voice to the softest voice of any reactor I've ever met. This guy is silky smooth, and I just want to talk to you guys. We're going to do a reaction to Suicide Silence, and as they scream ridiculously, I'm going to sound just like this, because that's how my voice to you as I do this reaction is like a hug, letting you know that everything is going to be okay no matter how crazy this gets. That is this guy. I mean, all of his reactions, he gets into some pretty great stuff. Black metal, hardcore. He does interviews and it's great stuff. His channel is really, really informative. I do like his delivery. I can't do it. I don't have that level of calm. And he does have epic facial hair. Kind of, you know what? He reminds me of a Rutledge Wood of YouTube reactors. You don't know who Rutledge Wood is? He's the host of The Floor is Lava, and he's hosted so many damn TV shows, from car shows and NASCAR, but Rutledge Wood looks a lot like this guy, and smooth as silk, super cool all the time. I mean, he's so chill it hurts. Now that I've talked about this one, let's go to the one that is never chill. Galactic Criminal, Jesus H. Okay. We talked about Kardavox Academy. Let's talk about Galactic Criminal. These are two polar opposites. So you have one that's chill, relaxed, calm at all times, and then Galactic Criminal, who hasn't been chill since 1992. And that's only because he didn't know what the hell to do with grunge. Anyway, this guy is breakneck speed all the time. In fact, if I go to people and I say, you know what, if you really want to check out how this amazing vocalist was able to create such a wonderful sound using her voice instrument, go check out the Charismatic Voice. If there's a video that is so over the top or so heavy, because I do have a limit on my heavy, I'll be like, hey, if you want to check out this video, go to Galactic Criminal, because there isn't anything that's heavy enough that he won't probably giggle at. I mean, you say Cannibal Corpse and the guy giggles. And I'm not kidding. He has literally sent me private messages on Instagram. Hey, buddy, look what I got for you. And he sends me a link. And I know that if I click the link, it's going to be a WTF moment. And it usually is. And he'll go, dude, you should react to this one. He doesn't want me to react. He wants me to go, what the hell, bro? And then he goes, hee, because he giggles. Because that's Galactic Criminal, okay? So Metalhead meets the Joker meets God. I mean, if Jim Carrey played a character on Living Color that was a metal reactor and was over the top, it's Galactic Criminal. I mean, come on. Look at the smile this guy has. Smiles and... Oh, also, he does... And this is something I do want to share with you guys that I really want you guys to check out. He actually does a really good series here and there called Criminal Karaoke, where he sings metal harsh vocals, karaoke style, some of your favorite music and TV shows. I kid you not. That alone is worth checking it out. Okay, my next one, Matt and Chels React. Now, Matt and Chels React is one of really two duos that I really like. And the reason why I like their channel is not necessarily because they put out this intricate analysis of the metal process and this technical situational awareness of the art. No, they're a couple and they have amazing chemistry. Matt is literally all of us about 10 years ago when we didn't have a girlfriend and life was metal and we would go to shows and have great time. And then your metal friend has a girlfriend and then he changes. He's still the same guy, but he acts weird because he can't be a dick in front of his girlfriend. That's Matt. You can literally see him during reactions like, dude, okay, for instance, okay, they did a Rammstein reaction to Rammstein Angle, okay? And you can actually see where I watched it here today. This is I cleared all this up so I could see it again. In that reaction, you look at the thumbnail, and I will zoom in on the thumbnail. This thumbnail of theirs is literally everything you need to know about this band. Watch this. I'm just gonna zoom this in. Let me get in here real quick. It's worth seeing, trust me. Watch. Let me pull this in. Okay. I want you to look at this reaction. Okay. This right here is the dynamic of almost every video they do, and I love it. Look at his face. Like he wants to say something, but I don't know if I can say it. And look at her face like, really? In this video specifically, if it's it's a Rammstein video. So it's either historical, it's aggressive, it's showmanship, or it's a little debaucherous. And we all know that this one's a little bit debaucherous. And she says, I could have really done without the foot deep throat. And he goes, well, I mean, I kind of liked it. And she was like, what? Just, it's a great dynamic. Now, don't get me wrong. She's not a prude. She's a metalhead too. But she is, how do you say it? The classic Abbott and Costello. You have the one that's the whip and the one that's the straight guy. There's one that's always building up and hyping it, and you have the one person that grounds it. She grounds it, and he's just a metalhead. And it's great to watch them because every time he says something and he knows when it comes out of his mouth, he's like, he won't look at her, but she'll look at him, and you can almost see in his face that the radiation coming off her look, he can feel it, so he dares not look at her. He goes, I can't, you can see in his eyes, he's like, I can't believe I just said that, bro. And she's like, I can't believe you just said that, bro. So it works. It's a great dynamic, great channel. For those of you who want to introduce metal reactions or metal in general to a significant other that isn't necessarily metal centric or metal friendly, this is a great channel to do that to because of their dynamic. Their dynamic is outstanding. Let me go ahead and change that up. That was a lot. Okay, so great dynamic. And like I say, my favorite thing about them is if you have someone who isn't really a metalhead, but there's a song like, I don't know, when Motionless in White came out, if you have someone that you want to share Motionless in White with, but they're not necessarily a metalhead, but you wanted to share the experience with them, this is a good reaction to sit down and enjoy together because great chemistry. All right, the ninth one is, well, it's another duo, but not necessarily the dynamic you're looking at here. A&P-Reacts. This is one of the first reaction channels that I checked out around the same time that I found Alex Hefner. And these are two guys. Now, what's funny is I've actually watched this guy. If you look at him now, he's quite a bit older. Okay? He's a young man now. When they started, he was just a teenager, just a young guy. But they've actually grown together, and great reactions, great vlogs, great situations. The reason why I like this channel is, okay, super simple production. It's the two of them sitting in front of their kitchen bar, camera, and they just pop a corner just like I'm doing right here. Literally, their setup is this setup you're looking right here. And I think at this point, they've built their channel up to where they could build a filming area. They could build a layout. They could do all this stuff. But because their channel has always been two guys in front of the kitchen counter looking at videos, it just works. And it's almost become iconic for them. Why would you change something that is so, it identifies them? Like I can look at their thumbnails, see two dudes sitting in front of a kitchen counter with rock metal music playing on a video, and I'm like, that's A&P. The other thing that I love about this channel is they do something similar to what Tank does, similar to what the Charismatic Voice does, similar to what Nik, Dicodec, a lot of these channels do. Their kind of niche, their specialty is the experience of being a fan of bands. This is what I mean. They do reactions, okay? But let me scroll down here and show you. They do reactions, but they also do the interviews. Okay. A lot of us do that. Even I do that. But they also go into album reviews. They do takedown and breakdowns where they actually will go through a list of different songs and bands and break it down. But my favorite thing they do, vlogs. They actually share the experiences of going to the shows, what they saw, how they saw it, and do it in a great way. Not just that, it's reviews of the concerts they've been to. These guys aren't just making videos about artists. They go and see the artists and come back and tell you about, okay, and this is important to me. Before I go see an artist, or if I'm going to go see an artist, I see if these two guys have gone to see him, and I see what they say because I want to prepare myself. Seeing a video is one thing. Seeing the band live is a completely different experience, and that's for everything. Sometimes, if you're going to see Ginger live, you're like, holy crap, some of this stuff is better than the album. If you went and saw Warrant back in the 80s, you're like, is that the same band? They suck live. Sorry, but they're notorious for that. That was the whole funny joke back in the 80s. I hope you like that album and video from Warrant because they suck live. Anyway, so, but they also do unboxing from box sets. So if you ever want to go and look and see, like, I wonder if this album is worth buying the vinyl of. I wonder if this box set is worth buying it and checking out and stuff. Well, they're like secret shoppers for that stuff. So they do a lot of great content. But again, almost all of their content is based upon that kitchen counter, which is fine. I mean, it's kind of iconic for them now. And being authentic metal fans that go and see the artists. They get the music. They get the vinyls. They get the merch. They get all, and then they share it with you and tell you what they think about it. So they go for that whole experience. So anyway, that's my list of reactors that I check out at right now. Now, there are a lot of other channels that I watch, but I just wanted to share these 10 with you because these are the 10 right now that if someone would say, hey, which channel should I be checking out? I want to check out reactors. These are the 10 because each one of them brings something different. And if somebody wants a good taste and flavor of the different channels where people are putting content and not just hype, these are the content creators. These are the ones that are actually creating content that you can look at and say, I want to do a channel like that. Or that channel style connects with me. What that person's doing connects with me. And that's why I gave you this list. My name is Old School Nerd, and I just want to thank all of you for coming. I appreciate all of you. And if you thought I was going to forget Tank, you're out of your goddamn mind. All right, so this is Tank the Text channel. It's easily my favorite channel on YouTube because there are so many things about Tank that I can relate to. Tank is a new dad, okay? And his story is a very interesting story. What happens when COVID hits and you're a roadie, you're a guitar, drum, bass tech, you're a tour manager, you're a merch supervisor. You've done every job there is to do except, you know, I don't think he did makeup. I think it's the only thing he didn't do. On tour with country artists, metal artists, classic rock artists, you name it, he's done it over 15 years. The thing is when COVID hit, he couldn't do his job at all. So he started Twitch, and then he started a YouTube channel. Next thing you know, it's Tank the Tech. And now he's got one of the best channels on YouTube, period. Now, his story is so awesome because at the time that the pandemic hit, he had to stop doing everything he did to support his wife. But then he also found out he's going to be a dad. That's a double stress out. I know because I am a dad. And I had a stable job through the entire pandemic. I couldn't imagine what it would be like to do that. So he buckled down and did what he knew. He talks about metal. He talks about music. He talks about being a roadie. He talks about being real. I also want to say something. Almost literally every single one of the channels that I've just talked about have no problem being honest about how they feel. Also, I know that Tank will record his reaction live, real, no pre-watch, no research into it to where he knows what's going to happen. It's a true reaction, and that's what I try to do here too. All of my reactions are always first-time views. I've never pre-watched a video just to see, you know, which has gotten me in trouble, by the way, not seeing what was coming. But then he goes back, does the research on the stuff that he saw, and then does an amazing breakdown from a roadie technical perspective, which is amazing. Then his channel's progressed where he starts talking about life on the road, stories about bands he's worked with. Then he starts doing interviews, and now he does a Tank the Tech podcast called the Back Lounge Podcast. Kind of like a green room, but backstage, everyone's hanging out, talking about the road, talking about shows, talking about life on the road. And he does this with amazing creators and artists. His latest one was with the Charismatic Voice, one of the best podcasts I've ever watched. And it's available on podcast platforms as well. So there are many times that I have reached out and messaged Tank, and I'm like, dude, what do you think about this? Like, I'm struggling with this. I don't know what to do. And even though I'm 12 years older than him, I'm old dude. He's like, you're doing fine, man. I love what you're doing here. Maybe not do this. And I'm like, should I even try doing this? I'm thinking about doing this with this band. You think it's going to work? He'll tell me honestly, dude, that the band's great. I love those guys, but their record label are dicks. Or the band's awesome, the label's awesome, but the publisher that holds the copyright, they're impossible. Also, unbeknownst to most of you out there, Tank has literally put forth a really strong effort to gather like-minded reactors who don't just look at this as a way to make money, or not just a way just to hype up things and clicks, but actually put thought processes and emotions and technical know-how or philosophies or a point of view that's not just for clicks. Bring all those people together and we talk about stuff. We share information. If one of us hurts, we all hurt. If one of us is up against it, we're all up against it. And that's important. And we all share things that work for us. We share things that don't work for us. And that all started with Tank reaching out and sharing his thoughts. There are things that I do on my channel now. I do because Tank has done them in the past and it worked for him. Or I've stopped doing things because Tank's like, dude, slow down. That was some of the best advice I've ever gotten from anyone on YouTube was from Tank. I was doing 2 videos a day. I was burning out, just trying to keep up. And he's like, dude, slow down. 1 video max. Seriously, unless it's something special, you know? And then I was like, well, then how am I going to get all my reactions done? I mean, I want to do these reactions, and they're reactions to bands that, you know, and then I was like, I want to do reactions to bands that nobody knows about. I mean, like, because I was doing YouTube reactions to bands, full YouTube reactions on my channel, and I was getting no views because nobody knew who the band was because they were a brand new band out of nowhere who didn't even have a label. So there was no, you know, but it was important to me to give back to bands. And Tank's like, I'm doing that too. He says, but I'm doing it on YouTube. I mean, I'm doing it on Twitch. And I was like, oh my God, Twitch. I could do dozens. I could literally do reactions for every band that's out there that isn't, you know, if you know, let me use the Falling in Reverse example. Falling in Reverse drops a video. Every reactor on the planet's doing it. You know, everybody does. Number one, because everybody loves Ronnie. Everybody loves a rebel, and Ronnie's as rebel as it gets. That dude doesn't give. He's ran out of fucks a long time ago. And so we love watching his videos because he's so creative and he's so dynamic. But at the same time, Ronnie, you do a reaction to Ronnie, it's going to be seen by millions of people because his videos see millions of people. But not everybody is a Ronnie Radke. Not everybody's, you know, as big as Falling in Reverse or Electric Callboy or Ginger or whatever. There are some bands out there making amazing music like Seeker Pearl and Beautiful Skeletons and Vintersea, and you know, there's all these up and coming bands that are out there doing it on the road, show by show by show, and they're not backed by superhuman labels and stuff. And I would love to do the reactions to those bands when they first get started, because one day one of those bands may be the new Ginger, the new Electric Callboy, the new big artist of that year. And I hope that I'm one of the first people to see them. So yeah, that has become a love of mine, that every Saturday is an up and coming stream on Twitch. Now Tank does Twitch streams as well. And because he actually gave me the idea to do Twitch streams to get some of my extra reactions done, because I can't help myself, I've always been so thankful. So what I do is every Saturday, he doesn't know this. He'll probably know this if he sees this. But the whole reason why I always raid him on Saturdays, I always start my up and coming stream 2 hours before he starts his. And my stream will never continue when he's on. Why? Because all of my community members are members of his community. And because he gave me the idea of, dude, all these extra videos, all these extra reactions that you're worried about getting done, just go do them on Twitch with your friends. Go do them live with all the people that you love. All of your community, they'll watch them with you. You have fun doing it. And I was like, dude, that is the greatest idea ever. So every Saturday when I start my reactions on Twitch, when it comes up time for Tank's stream to start, I'll have a window open off here to the side, and I start to see his little countdown window, and I have it playing, and I let everyone know in my community, okay, everybody, thank you for joining me today. We've done all these amazing reactions. Thank you for all of your suggestions and requests. Thank you for helping me find all the amazing new up-and-coming bands out there. And right now, I'm looking at it. Your boy Tank's about to start. We're going to be rating him here in a few minutes. Don't leave. I know if you have to go somewhere, at least hang in with me. We got to say hi to Tank because he's starting up his stream right now. His theme today is holy crap. That's literally how every Saturday goes. And I try to make it that if I'm streaming on the Saturday, if I am, I always raid that guy. He starts off his stream with 20 or 30. I mean, my streams aren't that big. But, you know, we all go there. We give him the hype. We give him the love. And it starts him off. And he's ready to go. And he loves it. So, and people go, do you do that because you think he's going to help you out one day? No, I do it because he gave me the idea to do it on Twitch. Also, for those who are wondering, why have I never debuted a reaction at 11:30 Central Time? Because I try to see when other reactors are going to release a video, and I won't release videos when they do because I don't want to compete with them. Particularly Tank, and I've told him to his face, I've told him on Instagram, I'm like, dude, just letting you know, my start times for videos are 10:30 and 12:30. And he's like, why? Because you start yours on 11. He goes, dude, just do whatever you want to do. Don't let me hold you back. If you want, launch them when you want. Don't worry about me. I'm like, it's not about that. It's like, Tank, my audience is your audience. Everybody that's subscribed to me is already subscribed to you. I mean, why would I, you know? Besides, it's really hard for me to premiere a reaction when I'm watching yours. Because I do. Actually, funny story, and this is what I'm going to end this video on. I actually missed the live premiere of my Leo reaction this last Friday because I was watching the podcast with Tank and Charismatic Voice, and I missed my own premiere on my own channel. That's how much I love his channel. He's a great guy. He's an awesome dad. I'm so proud of him when he talks about Claire and Ingrid. That's his family. He talks about his little girl Ingrid and how excited he is. And he talked about how they went on a vacation, his first time taking Ingrid to the ocean and her excitement in the ocean. And I typed in his chat room, I'm like, you keep doing dad moments. Because he's a roadie, but he's one hell of a dad. And saying that, it's interesting because today is Father's Day. So to all the dads out there, including Tank and Kirk with Charismatic Voice and all the people that we've talked about here today, and all those out there and all of you in my community and around the world, if you're a dad out there, this is your day. I thank you for being there for your children. And if you're a single mom out there or a widow out there and you're handling that dad role and the mom role, well, today is your day too because you're handling double duty. So you get the tip of the hat that I'm not wearing. It's the stupidest thing I've done today. And that's saying something because I do a lot of stupid shit. So to all of you out there, whether you are, whether you're first time, this is your first Father's Day or your 80th Father's Day, thank you so much for being a great dad to all of us. For all of you who are doing that dad role, even if it's not your kid, then double thank you because you didn't have to and you're doing it anyway, and we appreciate all of you. My name is Old School Nerd, and these are 10 freaking reactors that I absolutely check out all the time. I mean, for different reasons. I mean, some of them scare the bejesus out of me. Yeah. Talking about you, Galactic. Dude's a psycho. But I love him. We'll see you guys later. How's it going, kiddo? Thank you.